Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I didn't know how to start that video, to be honest. I didn't know what I was gonna say, but yeah. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about how Oscar's looking in training for Vitor Belfort. If you don't know who Vitor is, he's an MMA legend. He's one of the pioneers of MMA and UFC. One of the faces, um, like one of the OGs of the sport, you could say. And he was known for his striking and his boxing in the octagon. That's what he's known for, the knockouts. I think he has the most knockouts in UFC history, I think. Um, so, yeah, Oscar, he's looking good. He's looking good. Like, he just had a media day workout and he was hitting the mitts, and he looked good. Like, his speed is there, his power is there. Like, he actually looks, his punches look pretty powerful on the mitts. I'm not gonna lie. He's wearing the iconic Clito Reyes gloves. I love seeing that. Just because you don't see many fighters wear the Clito Reyes anymore. You know what I mean? Even Mexican fighters, you don't really see them wear them. Like Canelo wears Grant, I think, and other fighters wearing Grant. I'm not a fan of Grant, really, to be honest. I think maybe because Mayweather, he wore them, so I didn't really like him. But yeah, uh, I'm getting off topic here, but uh, yeah. So Oscar is looking very good in training right now. Like, I seen him in the gym doing strength and conditioning with the medicine ball and stuff. So he's not forgetting the strength and conditioning aspect, which is good. He took his shirt off during the media workout. It was in an outdoor venue, outdoor ring, and he looks ripped. He's got abs, six pack. He looks ripped. Like I said, on the mitts, he looks very. His punches are crisp, sharp. Um, so yeah, he's looking good. It's just, is his legs gonna be good, and can he take the strength and the size of a Vitor? Because we all know Vitor fought at, what was it, light heavyweight? I think maybe, I think it was light heavyweight up to heavyweight, but he was wrecking dudes like that. He's a beast. Like, he back in his heyday, he was a specimen. Like, his neck is like a tree trunk, his traps, his body is sculpted perfectly. He's a specimen. And even today, if you look at Vitor, he hasn't changed that much. Maybe not as ripped as he was when he first was fighting in the UFC, but he's jacked. And that doesn't always translate, though, to boxing ability, because we know fighters, like, off the top of my head, bulky guys like Jean Pascal, good fighter but not great fighter, right? He's not like top of the top. I would say he's better than the average fighter, but bulky muscles don't equal always best fighter. You know what I mean? But let me know what you guys think. Oscar hitting the mitts. I was impressed, to be honest. Like, I seen training before him, like shadowboxing and hitting the speed bag, but I was like, okay, yeah, he looks decent. But now that I see him hit the mitts, I know it's just mitts and it's not sparring a real fight, but it's a good sign when a guy's hitting the mitts good. He looks like he's 30 years old when he's hitting the mitts. To be honest, if you said this guy is 30, 35 years old and he's a pro fighter, you'd be like, yeah, yeah, he's 35. You wouldn't say, oh, he's almost 50. You wouldn't believe that when you see him hit the mitts. Um, Vitor, on the other hand, a lot of his training footage, for some reason, they're not showing up on my feed from like Fight Hype, Fight Hub. It's like they're not, for some reason, they're not going to his gym and filming him, or they're not allowing them to. I don't know, because I don't see much of those videos showing up of him training on the big channels like ES News and stuff, right? But I did find a recent video on MMA Junkie, and he does a lot of stuff focusing on strength and conditioning. Obviously, when your body looks like that, you must be doing that. Um, And then so he was doing all kinds of things like strength and conditioning stuff I've never seen before, to be honest. But he must be doing something. He's using the resistant bands a lot. I've seen him on the mitts too, and to be honest, he doesn't look as good as Oscar. Like visually, like he doesn't look as flashy on the mitts. His punches don't look as powerful as Oscar's does. It could be that he's just not putting all his power in the shots. He's more pity pat on the mitts, whereas Oscar was going like all out powerful punches. So you can't always go that by that, I guess. But I would say, like body wise, obviously Vitor looks better. He's bigger. He's jacked. It's like bodybuilder type body. And that's not to say Oscar's body doesn't look good. He just looks more of like a fighter body, more lean. Vitor's more, he's a bigger man. He just looks like a bodybuilder. But obviously he's efficient too with his body. He's not just for show. But I would say boxing workouts, like on the mitts, Oscar has been looking better from what I've seen. But there's more footage on Oscar than there is on Vitor from what I've seen lately. I know there's older videos of Vitor, but I'm talking about recent. But let me know, guys, if you find more videos on Vitor, because I'd like to see more of him to make more of a better comparison. But I think this fight is just gonna come down to like, is Oscar gonna get overwhelmed by the size and strength of Vitor, or is Oscar's boxing skills and sharp punches gonna break down Vitor, and Vitor will, yeah, is he gonna break him down, and Vitor is gonna gas out, and is Oscar gonna just TKO him? Because that's a possibility. So either way, it's either the strength and size is gonna overwhelm Oscar at his age. Like I said, because if this is prime Oscar, obviously he would win in a boxing match. But we're talking about 50-year-old almost Oscar. Is he gonna get broken down by the size and strength of Vitor, or is Vitor gonna get broken down by the skills and powerful punches of Oscar? And so that's pretty much it. It's Peter. I think it's gonna be a knockout, to be honest, and I think Oscar said that too. Sorry, I'm just drinking my protein powder. I just worked out. Good stuff. Gold standard, bruh. Yeah, so I think Oscar said pretty confidently, it was in his interview by, what's his name? I always forget their names, these interviewers. The PBC Spanish guy. Not the ESPN Osuna, the other guy, the guy who says like his A's wrong. He's like, you know what I'm talking about? The guy who the way he says names and words is kind of weird. Like he'll be like Danny Garciam. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about? Where he kind of adds like a kind of weird syllable to the end of words. Like yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other words that he says. Top of my head is the Danny Garciam, Manny Pacquiao. I don't know. I don't know if he says Pacquiao's name wrong, but you probably know who I'm talking about. That Latino guy for PBC. He was interviewing Oscar, and Oscar said that, trust me, this fight's gonna end in a knockout either way. Well, he didn't say either way, but he said, I forget his exact words, but he said this fight is ending in knockout. I can tell you that this fight's ending in knockout. I think that's what he said, and I agree. It's highly unlikely with these guys' styles and their mentality, and they're just, these guys come to fight, both of them. Like their styles, they leave it all out there. Like they're not trying to dance around. They're there to fight. And Oscar's always brought it. He fought everybody, and his style is just. It's good to see him come back to the ring. Some people were saying, "Oh, why is Oscar doing this? He's going to get destroyed by Vitor. What is he doing?" But I don't think that's the case. Like that could happen, but I don't think so. Like, and this is what he wants. This is what the man wants. So he says he has to do this for himself. He's a fighter. He misses it. Let him do what he wants. It's his body, it's his life. So, and it's just the type of guy Oscar is. He takes on challenges, and this is a challenge. And it's just good to see an old school fighter come back and fight again. Because really, Pacquiao is the only one left. He's the last of the Mohicans. So, yeah, like, it's good to see another OG fighter come back. I always liked Oscar's style. And, yeah, I just respect him a lot as a fighter. He fought everybody. And he has a fan pleasing style. Yeah, so, like, and then Vitor, on the other hand, is the exact same as Oscar. He's just bigger. And he fought in a different sport, MMA. But he didn't rely more on, like, takedowns or wrestling as much, or jiu-jitsu. I think he probably didn't know that. But what I remember of him is he's more of a stand-up guy, striker. And he always gave you a fan-pleasing fight. Like, if Vitor Belfort fight was always good no matter what. It's either he was going to get stopped or he was going to stop the guy. And more often than not, he would be knocking the other guy out. And same with Oscar. With his fights, he would knock guys out. He would chase them down, and he'd beat them down with his, like, he was a very good puncher, and he had a very good chin. And I just remember fights though of Oscar, like fighting like what was his name? Fernando Vargas, I think. I remember that guy. That guy was talking a bunch of shit. He was on steroids too. They found out he was on steroids after the fight, and Oscar just took his soul away and knocked him out, stopped him. And then I remember the Mayorga fight. He was talking a bunch of shit about his wife. Oscar put him in his place, knocked him out. That was a great fight. Just like, those are the moments I really remember. And then I thought he beat Mayweather. That was a close fight that I thought I thought Oscar won that fight. I watched it a couple times and I thought Oscar won. He was just more aggressive, more effective, and Mayweather didn't. Oscar landed more effective punches in my opinion. Good body shots, and that's why I thought Oscar won that fight. But I just remember the fights with the Vargas and the Mayorga. I loved those fights. How he broke those guys down. Yeah, so both guys looking good in training. Who do you think is going to win, guys? For some reason, I'm kind of like, the size and the strength and the way that Vitor works out makes you believe that he's going to destroy Oscar, because he does. He looks like a monster in training. But you can't always go by that, because Oscar is looking very good on the mitts. And from what I've seen, obviously that doesn't translate. Either of those doesn't really translate to how they're gonna fight in the ring. But Oscar's definitely has the edge because he's the boxer. And I know Vitor has boxed before. He's had professional boxing fights, and he's known to be a striker. But Oscar was a world-class boxer. So, yeah, it's really hard to pick who's going to win. I'm going for Oscar, though. I want him to win, but we're going to get a good fight. That's all I know is we're going to get a good fight. And I like both guys. I like Vitor. He's a humble guy, respectful guy. So, yeah, like, it just really depends. Is Vitor going to gas out with those big muscles, and he's not used to fighting in boxing, right? In a boxing ring with, like, the distance is different. Like, striking in MMA is still different than boxing, so. Or is Oscar going to get overwhelmed by the size and strength and the basic boxing skills that Vitor has, but will that be enough to break down Oscar at his age? But yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to the fight. I might buy the fight. Is it paid fight or is it free? Because if it's paid, I want to buy it just because it's an Oscar fight, and he's an OG guy, and I want to I just like seeing bringing back the OG stuff. Like I hate when stuff has to come to an end, and the fact that Oscar's coming back, it brings joy to me. So I that's why I want to kind of buy it because like I like Oscar, I like his style, and yeah. Let me know what you guys think of the fight, and I'll catch you in the next one.